Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Liz. Thank you for stopping by. I'm doing a ribbon chat. I am working again on Sunday Morning in Spring by Nikki Boemi, I think, and it is a Dreamer Designs canvas. This thing is very long. It's 180 centimeters. I think it's 60 by 180, I think, or something like that. And I am at basically the halfway point. I was hoping to have it done further, but I've done other things in between. I did a Samhain Night, and then I did the one with the girl with the red hair and the cat. I also just finished a Diamond Dots that I got at Walmart by one of the Thomas Kincaid ones. I'm going to be doing a reveal or a completion video on that one probably tomorrow. I actually wasn't even planning on doing a video today, but I'm like, you know what, I haven't done a whip and chat in a while, and I figured I would just do it, just checking in and seeing what you guys are doing and how it's going. Oops, I just whacked the cat. You know what? Let me just move it a little up. If I move a little up, I probably won't whack it. There we go. Anyway, I recorded about half a minute earlier and the camera fell over. I'm like, uh-oh. So I had to fix it. And the thing is, part of the reason it does that is because the gadget that I have on it, even though this is a nice one that I bought recently, the prongs that hold the phone aren't, they're not very thick, and I have a cover on my phone because I'm very clumsy and I drop it all the time and I don't want it to break. This is a new phone. It's only, I don't know, I don't even think it's a couple months old, but let's say it's about a couple months old, and I really don't want to ruin it. So that's part of the reason. It doesn't hold it perfectly, but as long as I don't touch it, it should be fine. As long as it doesn't go flying off. Occasionally that happens too. So anyway, as I was saying, I was just checking in on you guys, see what you guys are doing. Today's the 29th, so a couple days before Halloween. If you guys are doing anything for Halloween, we don't really do a lot for Halloween. Of course, when my kids were young, I would take them trick-or-treating and stuff. And we decorate the outside of the house, and in the inside, I have a lot of decorations, okay? I have a lot of everything, okay? That's part of my problem. But like the holidays, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, those are the big holidays that I decorate for. I don't really do the other ones as much or at all. I don't do Easter. I don't do the 4th of July. I don't do like that kind of stuff. I just do the main ones that I consider the main ones in the fall and winter. Anyway, so yeah, you guys do anything? The only trick-or-treaters we get here anyway are my neighbors across the street. They have 3 kids and maybe a couple of their friends, because this is, even though it's not really rural, I'm in New Hampshire, but I'm like on the border of Massachusetts. It's a quiet town, but we do have a lot of traffic, and people use this road as a throughway, and it's very dark. And nobody wants their kids walking here, and I don't blame them. And my husband works nights, so if he wasn't home, I wouldn't open the door anyway, because you know what? I just don't want to. I'm from the city, and I've only been up here in New Hampshire for 10 years, I'm from a city, and you just don't open your door to just anybody, even on Halloween. But anyway, so yeah, he's actually going to be home this year because he's getting another cortisone shot. The last one he got did help, and it helped quite a bit, but his back's still bothering him a little bit. So he's actually going to go and get another shot on Halloween, and he can't work that particular day because he can't drive for the day. Because occasionally when you get those lumbar shots, it can affect your feeling in your leg, and if you lose feeling in your leg, you can't drive, I mean, he's had it already a couple of times, because he had this happen maybe 2, 3 years ago. I don't remember exactly. And he had to have a shot then as well. And I think he got 2 shots. Did he get, I can't remember if he only got 1 or 2 back then either. Okay, we have a bad drill here. One thing about these drills, you get these little pits in them. I don't know if you can see it. The little pit on the thing that you probably can't see it because I have it panned out because it's the camera's in a weird spot. So he's going that day, and I'm actually going to be going to my doctor same day, but in the morning. His is in the afternoon because of my back, because I've been dealing with an issue with my back for over a year now. And I've been avoiding going to the doctor because I'm just hoping it goes away, I honestly don't think they're going to be able to really do anything about it. I don't think it's a slip disc or anything like that, because if it was that, it would have already resolved itself, you know. Like when I get up in the morning, I'm in extreme pain. I have to sleep with a wedge and my legs up. It's really a pain in the butt. I just want to sleep normally. I want to sleep without a CPAP and sleep flat and be comfortable. I'm always in constant pain, and it just gets exhausting, honestly. It gets really tired. So I'm going to be going and having my doctors figure out what's wrong. But like I said, I'm not sure there's going to be anything they can do about it. I don't want to be on meds for the rest of my life. Cortisone shots do not really work for me very well. I've had some before for other things. At the most, they work a couple of weeks, and then they don't work. And you can only get so many other shots. Anyway, my husband's very lucky. He's the kind of person, they work really well for him. My mom, too. She's had them for her shoulder. She had a bad shoulder. They gave her 1 shot. She hasn't had the problem since. I mean, I've had shots in my neck. I've had them in my back. I've had them in my hip. And I've never had really great results with them. So, I don't know. It's kind of depressing because sometimes I feel like I'm trapped in this body. There's so many things I want to do, but unfortunately I can't really force too much because I'm in a lot of pain. And even, you know, when I watch my granddaughter, I watch her on Mondays. Sometimes it's tough, you know. I mean, it's better now because I don't have to pick her up as much. Because she's walking, which is great. I mean, I still pick her up, and I love to pick her up, but sometimes it's really painful, you know. So hopefully, maybe there's something going on that they can treat, you know, without having to be like a lifelong issue. I don't know. Like I said, I've been dealing with this for over a year and it hasn't gone away. It's interestingly enough, that's not true. It did go away. It went away for about 2 weeks. Back in November, December, I was really sick with a flu. I had it was a flu, but it stayed with me for like 2 months. You know, the coughing and, you know, the fatigue and everything. And then one day it just kind of went away. And for 2 weeks during that time where I was coughing really bad, which I honestly thought I was going to really hurt myself because sneezing and coughing hurt my back really badly, my lower back. And I had no pain. No pain. It was completely gone. I told my chiropractor about it, and he's like, oh, you know, that's actually really good. That just means your body can actually, you know, get rid of pain if it needs to. Did I just move that? Yeah, I did. Sorry. Hold on. You know what? I need to tighten this. Hold on. Is it this way? How do you deal with this? I need to lock this in place. Why is it not locking? I'm going to pause this for a second. All right. It shouldn't move that easily now, but I do have my towel. You know what? I'm going to move it over a little bit. What number do I need? 41, I think. Yeah, 41. This has 90 colors, so I have it in a tower. It's just much easier to just grab the trays. They're all set for me for the most part. But anyway, as I was saying, my chiropractor said, well, that's good that the pain went away. It just shows that your body can get rid of the pain if it really needs to. Now, I did go back to the chiropractor. I stayed away while I was sick and for a while after that. Plus, we had no insurance, and for a while, with my husband losing his job, and he's the one that really needed it way more than I did, so I kind of just let it go. But anyway, I went back to the chiropractor, and it did nothing. I mean, it helped a teeny bit, but not enough where it was worth me continuing to stay. And I felt bad. I mean, he's really a nice person, and he does a great job, and he helped me a lot with my hip when I first started going to him a few years ago. But for this back issue, I am not getting any relief, so I don't know. I'm kind of a little afraid. You guys are probably hearing my plastic here, because I'm kind of like leaning up against it, and I have to be careful because I don't want to get any of my shirt on it or anything like that. But anyway, as I was saying, he's a nice guy. I like him. He helped me a lot with my hip, but with my back, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Part of it's my weight. I need to lose weight. Unfortunately, it's very hard to lose weight when you're going through menopause, when you're developing a bad back. You can't move nearly as much as you want to, and it's hard, it's hard, even though I'm pretty careful with what I eat for the most part, but I mean, not nearly enough, I suppose. So I'm the kind of person I've always had an issue with my weight, except when I was super little. So it's always been really hard, and it's difficult because, as some of you know, your weight is just something that I have struggled with my weight my entire life, from a small child, about 10 years old and up, on and off. I've lost weight, I've gained weight, I've lost weight, I lost, back in 2010, I lost 90 pounds, kept it off for over 5 years. I moved, and I was walking every day, but I actually wound up hurting myself with that. I was walking too much, and I wound up hurting my hip. But anyway, then we moved up here, because I used to walk to work. We moved up here, and I wasn't walking nearly as much, partly because I also had the issue with my hip, and I couldn't walk as much, But I was still careful with my diet, and after a while, I just started gaining weight, especially once menopause really hit. I'm like, I'm dying here. And what can you do? I mean, you have to live, you have to eat, Plus my husband, he's a thin guy. He's always been thin. Never had an issue with his weight. The only time he gained a little bit of weight is when he had this last issue where he was kind of out of commission for a couple of months. He might have gained, I don't know, 5-10 pounds, if that. He's already lost all of it. And he, living with somebody who can literally eat anything, he literally buys bags of candy just to sit there and eat. Now, I'm not even a candy eater. I really don't care for chocolate that much. I mean, I like it, but I can have a bag of chocolate in my house. No, I very rarely touch it. It's not my thing. I like regular food. I like real food. I like savory things, But anyway, I mean, I try to be careful, but like I said, you got to live. And honestly, after cooking for so long, because I cooked from the nuns for so long and cooking at home, my entire life. I've cooked, most of us, but I've cooked thousands of meals in my life and in my existence. I'm bored with cooking. I'm tired of it. So I tend to go with convenience foods, not like frozen stuff or anything like that, but easy to make things, I make most of my stuff from scratch, but more like just simple and quick things, like spaghetti, or I made chicken a la king the other night for my husband mainly. I really didn't have much of it. I had a little bit. He likes it more than I do. Things like that. Simple stuff, because I just get so tired or I am so tired of being stuck in the kitchen, although I'm home all the time now, so I guess it doesn't really matter. Anyway, so what are you guys doing for Halloween? Right after that is Thanksgiving, right? 1 month after. Like I said, I'm not really doing anything for Halloween. My kids go up to my mom's house in Massachusetts, because her neighborhood is really popular for giving out candy. So that's where they go. So I don't really do much, which is fine. Honestly, I'm probably gonna give out the neighbors candy, the candy to the neighbors, I should say, and probably shut off the light and go watch Hocus Pocus or something, you know. And then next week we have what? The election, and after that we have Thanksgiving, and then Christmas, and hopefully, you know, we won't be in a war or anything between now and then. You never know. Every day is a new outrage. You never know what the heck's going on in this crazy world sometimes. Oh, it's scary. It's scary. But you know what? I think no matter what happens, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, you can take it or leave it or not agree with it, and perfectly fine. We'll be okay one way or another. I really, really believe that. I think a lot of the stuff that we hear is very hyperbolic, on both sides, honestly. You know, it's always the world's coming to an end, everything's going to fall apart, and it never does. And I've fallen for it myself. I have fallen for it myself over the years. I remember Y2K, and I got hooked into that whole fear thing. That actually taught me a big lesson. Like, just don't listen to people. Like, listen to your gut, you know. And my gut kept telling me, no, things are gonna be fine. But I was really young at the time. I was a young mom, you know. I was worried for myself, for my kids, you know, my family. And I'm like, now I'm like, you know, people survive no matter what. And you know, people, it's strange because people forget how incredibly adaptive the human being is. People adapt to the craziest situations in their lives because survival is inbred into us, you know. It is what we are. Our number one thing is to survive, you know, for the most part. And we're going to be fine. We are going to be fine, you know. Some people are going to be sad. Some people are going to be mad. Some people are going to be upset. It happens, but you know what? It isn't going to be the end of the world. And in this, I really, truly, truly believe it is not going to be the end of the world at all. You know, hell, there's people in freaking war zones right now. They're in the war scenario, you know. I just want it to be over. At this point, I'm just so over all of it. I'm so, you know, it gets me really irritated. I go on YouTube and I haven't been watching a lot of videos lately. I've mainly been watching, listening to books. I have audiobooks. One of story, it's actually a 3-book series about Eleanor of Aquitaine. She was a queen back in the 1100s in France and England. She was like the queen of France and England. It's weird. It's just how the stuff was back then. I don't really understand it too well. But anyway, I've been listening to stuff like that because every time I go on YouTube, there's some sort of political commercial and they're annoying the heck out of me because I was like, why can't I skip through these? They allow me to skip through the others, but they don't allow me to skip through these. And I'm so sick and tired of them all. Every single one of them. I'm just so tired of them. You know, just stop. Stop. By this point, most people know who the heck they want to vote for. And even if they didn't, I'm pretty sure being interrupted with their whatever they're viewing for a political commercial is just going to irritate people. I know it irritates me, and I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's the person I think I want to vote for or not. I can't stand them. They're just driving me bananas. You know? So, that's my little spiel. I'm almost done with this. You see this? There's a lot of confetti, you guys. There's so much confetti. This one's sticking up here. I always check every section that I do. Make sure that they're all down. Because sometimes you can't even see them. You can feel them. But you can't see them. Anyway, yeah, so that's my little spiel. I'm tired of it all. I'm exhausted by it, you know. I just want it to be normal. I just want life to be sometimes I look back and like I see, Generation X grew up in the 80s. I'm early Generation X. I was born in 68. And I I see videos of like the 80s, and I am nostalgic for that time. And the reason I'm nostalgic for that time, number one, I was a lot younger, but also, I don't know, family. There was a lot of family gatherings and stuff. I mean, unfortunately, a lot of them have gone. They're passed. My mother-in-law and father-in-law are both gone. My dad's gone. My uncles and aunts, they're all gone. So even some of my cousins, I had a few cousins pass away within the last couple of years. And it's just, I don't know, life just seems so much more complicated now. And part of it, honestly, I think is social media. There's just too much information coming at us. Back then, we had time to actually talk to each other, like really talk to each other without having a phone attached. Now, I do make it a point when I go anywhere, whether I go out to dinner, I go to a party, a birthday party, whatever, to keep my phone like in my purse and really only pull it out if I actually get a message and I need to check a message, or if I'm waiting for a phone call or something. Other than that, I try to make it a point not to use it when I'm with other people, because I get plenty of time to use a stupid phone. I really do. I spend a lot of time alone. I got more than enough time to use it. And I really kind of miss that. I miss that interaction with people, actually going places and talking to people and not feeling so disconnected, and it was different. It was, I don't know, now it's like you can still talk to people every day and still feel disconnected. It's strange. It's very strange. Anyway, so do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving? I wind up having to cook here at my house for the family. I've actually done both families once, which was really good. I loved it, but I only did that once. I was only able to do that once. Last year I did it, and I was surprised because I thought I was feeling better, and then I got super sick again when I had that, because for my anniversary, which is November 14th, I couldn't even celebrate my anniversary last year, and then after that I thought I was better. I did Thanksgiving, and I don't know, it took everything out of me, but I usually wind up doing it here because we used to do it at my mom's house, but I have to go over there to do all the cooking. It's just so much simpler to do it here, and I have this big thing that I do, and I enjoy doing it. I really do. I enjoy cooking for the family, for that meal, because it is something special, and I do like it. But I know not everybody does it, or not everybody even cares to do it, and that's okay, It happens. And not everybody, is even here in the States. Because I know Canada they just did the Thanksgiving this October, right? Somebody mentioned it on one of my videos. I can't even remember who it was now, and I did wish them a happy Thanksgiving. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. But I don't know if they have a specific day that they do it, or it's like a specific Thursday. Like ours is what, the 3rd, or is it the 4th Thursday of November? I think it's either the 3rd or the 4th Thursday of November. I can't remember which one now. So it's always on a different day depending on when it falls for the year. So if you're out of the States, that's when it is. Those who are in the States usually know. And then, of course, there's Christmas after, and I get really super busy with Christmas. The holidays really take it out of me. I have a hard time actually celebrating because I get so busy, and we usually wind up having a pretty big Christmas party. Last year I couldn't, though. We had to cancel it. We did plan it, but I had to cancel it. I was just way too sick still. We used to do like Christmas Eve and Christmas Eve with my mother-in-law or my in-laws, and the family would gather at their house. And then we used to do Christmas Day at my mom's, which we still do. But of course, my mother-in-law passed away a few years ago, and of course, no one's really doing it. So we've just decided to turn it into a holiday party or a Christmas party. But we do it like, instead of Christmas Eve, it winds up being too hectic. We do it like a couple weeks before or a week before. And people have liked that. I mean, people ask all the time, hey, you having your party? They love having the party. And it is fun, but it is a lot of work. And I go all out with like the decorating and stuff. I mean, not as much as some people I see. I see some people and they're like really crazy with the decorations. But I put up the tree. I decorate the windows. I put lights on all the windows. We decorate outside. My husband, he does the outside. It winds up being like a ton of work. Plus, I have a village too. You know, I have a Christmas village that I put out. It takes me last year, because I was so sick during that time. It took me days to put everything out. I usually will put everything out like in a weekend. I can usually do it in a weekend. It took me, I think, a couple of weeks. I remember I tied 3 bows on the windows, because I have these big yellow, red bows that I put on the window curtain thingy. I don't know what you'd call that, the curtain hook or whatever it is. And I just put them there. It's just fun. They're just those cute bows that are cheap that you can buy, you know, at Walmart or whatever. I tied 3 bows and I had to go lay down. That's all. I thought I was going to die. I was so sick. And the fatigue that I had, I'm like, oh my God, this will never go away. I was actually starting to get worried because it felt like it would never go away. But then it eventually did, you know. But yeah, I couldn't do the party last year. I was just way too sick. And then my nephew decided to have it at his house. And I said I was going to go, but that day I just couldn't. I had to cancel. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't. You know, they went. They had a good time. You know, the rest of the family, they had fun. But I just couldn't function. You know, I think my husband went to that for a little bit. I think he did, which was fine by me, you know, because I was just too sick. I couldn't do anything. And it's not that at this point I was even sick. I was just exhausted. Like, I couldn't even, you know, think. I was just like, oh my God, you know. So hopefully maybe this year, if we do decide to do it, I'm going to have to decide within the next week or so, maybe the next 2 weeks at the most, because usually I have to pick a day, plan it, you know, do it. We do Facebook invites, you know, and create the event and do it that way. My daughter usually does it. She's the one that sets it up. And we might do it. I don't know yet. Because I'm not feeling great. My back's still in pretty bad shape. And I don't know if I want to stress myself out in doing it, even though I enjoy having everybody over. It is a lot of work, you know. And the one good thing though about it is everybody brings something. We do a potluck, so I don't have to cook for that, except maybe make one thing or just, you know, provide drinks or whatever. So in that respect, it's not hard. It's more just like having the house ready, you know, that kind of thing. And my problem is I stress over that kind of stupid stuff. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if my floor is 100% clean. Because guess what? By the time you have 15 people at the minimum, a lot more than that, walking through the house, your floors aren't going to be clean. Okay? You know, I worry about that kind of thing, and nobody cares. They just want to have fun, get together, talk to each other, because we don't see each other hardly at all anymore. You know, it's really true. When a parent dies or when the parents die, you don't really see each other as much, and it's really sad. The only time we see each other now is at funerals and possibly weddings, and sometimes a birthday, depending, or christening or something, depending who's having a function or whatever. Other than that, we really don't see each other. And it's not like we live really that far away from each other. We live a couple towns away. It's not far. It's just everybody has a life. Everybody's got stuff going on. Everybody's dealing with what they're dealing with. Everybody's working hard because, our economy right now is tough on everybody, and people need to, survive. The last thing they're thinking about is going to visit people when they can be doing other things, So anyway, that's what's going on, and I don't know. We'll see if we have it this year. If we do, I'm sure I'll tell you about it, and I'll be stressed out. I'm just trying to figure out if that's the right one. Does that go that way? Because I have this sideways. I'll be stressing out, because that's how I am. I stress myself out, and then it turns into a nice time, and I'm like, why was I stressed out? It doesn't matter. I do it anyway. In a way, it was good last year. I couldn't do it because it gave me a break from having to worry about any of it. But then again, I had it planned until the week before, and actually, it might have even been like 3 days before that we canceled it. I was holding off, hoping I was feeling better. But in the end, I literally I couldn't, and even with my husband helping, we couldn't do it. I would have been in the bedroom and everybody out here, I just wouldn't have been able to. I was just completely a waste of space, So, other than that, the holidays are coming. Halloween in a couple of days. The crazy thing is it flies by, doesn't it? It's like I love the holiday season. I love fall. I love Thanksgiving. I love Christmas and all that. And you wait for it, and then it just kind of flies by. I can't believe it that that Halloween's already in a couple of days. I haven't done a lot of Halloweeny stuff other than I did put out my decorations and stuff. But I haven't even watched hardly any Halloween movies. The only one that I did watch is Halloween Town, I don't like scary movies at all. And at all. I don't watch horror. I because I spend a lot of time, at home alone at night, I definitely don't want to be watching that. And on top of it, this house sometimes gets visitors, and I'm talking like, otherworldly visitors, like ghosts and stuff. There's all kinds of noises I hear and stuff. I've never felt threatened at all in this house, though. Just something comes by, says hello, and takes off. I know it sounds crazy, but trust me, I'm not the only one that's heard it. My whole family's heard things in this house. But I don't want to spook myself out any more than I have to. And I already can cook up things in my head. I don't need to add more, So I try not to really watch anything horror related or scary. I don't like anything like that, not even commercials. I refuse to watch them. I honestly think that in a lot of ways they bring negativity in. There's this lady I follow, Amanda Ellis. She's kind of a psychic. She's from England. And she talks about that. She doesn't watch horror movies either or anything like that. But she believes in, and I kind of already felt it this way, that you bring in that negativity. You can bring in that negativity into your life by watching. I know it sounds crazy, but it brings my my vibes down, really. When I watch anything like that or sad, it really brings me down, and it really affects me on a deep level. So I just really don't do it. I just avoid it, I like comedies. I like watching comfort shows. Lately, I've been watching Sanford and Son. Boy, is that hilarious. You don't realize how funny it is until you watch it as an adult. Oh my God, it's so funny. But I watch other things. I like Stargate and Star Trek, those kinds of things. Because those, I don't know, they're hopeful to me. They're, especially Star Trek. It's all about, a beautiful future for the world and for humanity and people getting along and, not having any poverty, not having any prejudices, people just being people and doing what they're meant to do. And I've always, since I was a little kid, since the first time I watched Star Trek back on our 3-channel TV, I just loved it. I loved the hope for the future, I feel like it really is a possibility. And that's why when I say I think everything will be okay, I really believe that. I really believe in my heart that in the end, everything's going to be fine, I don't like giving into the hyperbolic, whatever, vitriol that's always being spewed by so many people in the media that's like, come on, please, can't we just learn to get along? Really, seriously. Can't we just be nice to each other? I personally don't care who people vote for. I have friends on the left. I have friends on the right. I talk to people. Like, I generally don't talk politics with people anyway, other than if I know that they're if we have the same views, then we can talk. I really avoid it because honestly, I respect people for having their own views. You have your view, that's fine. I've seen people cut off family and it's like, are you crazy? Nothing's that important. I'm sorry. No politician, I don't care who they are, is that important that you're going to cut off your family. Not in my view. There's no family member. Well, there's a few. There's a few I could cut off. But I'm talking like, these are more of distant relatives that I just, if I see them, I see them. If I don't, I don't. But I'm talking like close family members. There's nobody that's worth that to me. Nobody. I don't care who they are. It could be the savior of the world. I don't care. I would never cut off a family member because of a politician. I just wouldn't do it, That's me. And I think, honestly, I always say this, and I've been saying this for many, many, many years, and I believe it's really true, that if you stick, I don't know, say 100, 200, whatever, however many people in a room, and you tell them they're allowed to talk about anything except politics and religion. They can talk to each other about anything, family members, hobbies, whatever. That in the end, most people will come out as friends. I would say probably 99% would come out at least with one new friend, that they'll stay in contact with. And most of the people would just come out with like having a nice time. Oh yeah, I talked to this person and this is what we talked about. Talked about diamond painting or crochet or whatever, cars, anything. Because unfortunately, that's the way of the world, is they figure if we stay divided, they win, and I see that. And I think it's sad. But like I said, I have friends on all sides, and I tend to be more on the independent side, of things. I pretty much just don't care. I just want to be left alone for the most part. And I think people should live whatever life they want to live, and that's on them. That's none of my business. As long as it's not affecting me personally or the ones I care about, as far as, whatever. People should be able to do whatever makes them happy, But some people, I don't know, think that others have to believe the way they do, and I don't agree with that. Well, how boring would it be if literally everybody in the world was into diamond painting and no one in the world was into, I don't know, medicine? Not only would it be boring, it would be horrible. We all have different perspectives. We all come from different places in the world. It's literally all perspective. It's literally like, I have certain views that I know are they're that way because of the way I was raised or a particular belief system or something like that. But I'm not a fool and believe that, the rest of the world has to believe exactly as I believe, because the rest of the world, there's billions of people in this world. We can't all believe the same thing. Honestly, be boring. It'd be so boring. I think there's a lot of beauty in people's differences if people are respectful of each other. Now, I've been attacked once or twice. People can get nasty. I'm fine with I can talk to somebody about differences, no problem, and I have no problem someone talking to me or calling me out. But some people, they get very personal, and I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's fair because our belief system, it is personal to us, but that's not the only thing we are, Whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, Catholic, Buddhist, whatever, that's part of who you are, but that's not the total sum of who you are. You're not just that. That's a small fraction of who you are. And we know this. I think anybody with a mind will realize, most people are very faceted. We have many facets to who we are. But some people, they just get stuck in one thing, and that's what it's like. I mean, I remember being very, very, very Catholic. And being very on the straight and narrow, and the whole thing. Not just Catholic, even when I was born again and all that. I went through a lot. I've gone through a journey in getting to different places, And I remember being, I guess I don't want to say it's intolerant, because I'm not an intolerant person. I've never been intolerant, but feeling bad that people, didn't believe what I believed at the time. But I never felt like that person was evil or anything like that. I knew people that actually did believe that if somebody passed away and they weren't saved, that they were going to go to hell. I don't believe that. I didn't believe it at the time, not really, and I really don't believe it now. I don't necessarily know exactly what happens when we pass away. I have no clue, but nobody else does either. The ones that say they do, they're not telling you the truth. They don't know. They're just hoping that their belief system is the true belief system, but that doesn't mean that it is. Nobody knows. They could be right. They might be, but they could be completely wrong. As the years have gone by and as I've read more, and I read a lot of stuff on religion, a lot. I love religion. I love reading about religion. I don't necessarily love religion, but I like reading about different religions, different cultures, things like that. As my worldview has changed on that aspect, I can't say that, any particular religion is right. I don't believe it. I think every religion, in my view, this is just my view, so please don't come at me, because I respect you. Please respect me. I think every religion has some form of truth in it. Most of the time, most religions really are about loving God, whoever God may be, and loving your neighbor. If you break it down to that, being respectful and caring about each other, and that there's a higher power out there, whatever that higher power may be, I think you'll live a good life. I really do. I think you'll be in a much better place than a lot of people who really don't see it that way. They see it more as very regimented, like you have to believe a certain way. I mean, I've been there. I know what that's like, and that's really hard. When you feel like you have to believe everything a certain way, it takes a joy out of everything. Honestly, the whole thing, God's love and all that, I never really felt God's love until I actually walked away from the whole religious thing, and I feel like, yes, there is a God. I do feel that there's something there. I've had experiences, but I feel freer now than I ever have, that I'm not tied to a particular religion. Will I wind up going back to another religion? I might, and I probably will. Or maybe I'll just blend a bunch of things together. I don't know. I just know that in my life now, I feel so much freer than I ever did, and that does go back to some childhood stuff too with me. But I just think that we're all human. We're all brothers and sisters, regardless of whether we're brothers and sisters in Christ or brothers and sisters in anything else. You know, we're just brothers and sisters in the human being sense. You know, we're all connected in some way. You know, I mean, somehow we're connected, even if it's the minutest molecule. That's the way I look at it. And I try to, you know, treat people like that. All right, you guys, I finished my little section here. I actually started this morning. Somehow it worked up quicker than the others. I don't know how. I mean, there wasn't a lot of color blocking. As you can see, it's pretty confetti heavy, but it worked up quick, so I don't know. So this one is going to take a while to finish. I don't know if it'll be finished before the end of the year, because I'm more than likely going to start a Christmas painting very soon. I might put this one aside again for a while and then start the other one, but maybe I won't, you know, maybe I won't. But it's coming out really pretty, isn't it? Look at all the pretty flowers. See part of the church here. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love churches and stuff like that. You know, I worked for the church, as a matter of fact. Worked for my nuns. It's just, I don't know, I've really, in my view, I really feel that there's so much more to things. Anyway, at some point I will show you this. Maybe I'll do a progress on it within the next couple of days, because like I said, I'm halfway through and this thing is huge. So I've already done 90 centimeters, I think, because it's 180, I believe, 60 by. So I've done 60 by 90 centimeters. It's like 2 big paintings, you know. All right, you guys. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Take good care of yourselves. Blessings and thank you. And take very good care of yourselves. Take care.